This is She Said, She Said podcast, a top-rated career and personal development podcast and media platform for women. I'm Laura Cox Kaplan, your host and the founder of She Said, She Said Media. Each week, we tackle valuable career topics, including things like how to navigate change and how to build the influence that you need to make your career and life pivots more seamless, and so much more. Change is the only thing that we can absolutely expect in our lives and careers. And even though we know it's coming, it's often the thing that we are least prepared to deal with. It can be uncomfortable, and of course, it can be scary. Whether you're at midlife and you're launching kids into the world, or maybe you've outgrown your current position, or you have a dynamic business idea that you want to try, or maybe you're headed back to work after a maternity leave, or transitioning into that first job. This podcast focuses squarely on helping you to think through and navigate all of those important pivots, both the ones you know about and you plan for, as well as those pivots that surprise you. Most of all, I hope to meet you right where you are and with amazing guests who share great advice and perspective, not to mention a healthy dose of inspiration, because I want to help you create and foster the impact that you hope to have in the world. Hit the subscribe or follow button from wherever you're listening and join us. I am really delighted to have you here. Hey friend, welcome to episode 265 of She Said, She Said podcast. If you have been listening to She Said, She Said podcast for a while, you might have noticed that our show open, that little intro that tells you a bit about She Said, She Said podcast when you first start listening, is a little different this week. And that is because we were in need of a bit of a refresh. I have been thinking a lot about change. In fact, it's been a core topic as we've launched new episodes this fall. But frankly, as I looked back over our content, some 265 episodes if you include this one, change is probably the most consistent topic that we talk about. Whether I'm talking to entrepreneurs or authors or designers or former investment bankers or therapists or coaches and everyone in between, often the most interesting and I think compelling parts of their stories is how they've navigated change and how they've pivoted, often under incredibly difficult circumstances. How did they make the decision to make that pivot? How did they know what was going to be next? Change is the only thing that we can absolutely expect in our careers and in our lives. And even when we know it's coming, it is often the thing that we don't do a great job of preparing and planning for. Of all the topics and challenges that I've dealt with in my own career in life, change was by far the most challenging. And that's largely because there is so much that's wrapped up in change and all of the ways that it impacts not just our life, but also the lives of those people around us, because we don't pivot and change in a vacuum. As I talk to you and so many people listening who follow and engage with me on social media, this topic of change and navigating change and identity and all those pieces is really perhaps the most common thread. And because my goal here at this podcast has always been, how can I serve you best with this content? It seems like a really important tweak to make as I've thought about topics that I think would be valuable to you. So I am really eager to hear what you think about this and also get your feedback and perspective on different dimensions of change that you think we should be tackling, and great guests who can speak to this topic as well. Again, this is really just a small tweak on something that we have been focused on for a long time, but maybe looking at the topic a bit more explicitly. Now, already this fall, we have talked about several elements that I think are related, from dealing with change and the grief that can often accompany it, which we talked about in episode 264 with the incredibly thoughtful and amazing Megan Jarvis. She, of course, is the grief and trauma specialized psychotherapist and also author of an upcoming or soon to be released book, I should say, End of the Hour, which I'll include a link in the show notes to the episode. But also this fall, we've talked about learning to utilize and really understand failure and using the good kind of failure to innovate, to really fuel the kind of change that leads us to amazing discoveries. And of course, that was with Harvard Business School professor of organizational management and author of the book, The Right Kind of Wrong, Amy Edmondson. She joined us in episode 261. Another dimension of this is money and identity and how we can get so wrapped up in what we do and how much money that we make that it can keep us stuck in jobs that may or may not serve us as well as they could. And that, of course, was the topic that we discussed with former investment banker turned financial wellness expert, Manisha Thakor. And we've also talked about the power of embracing the idea of taking one small step, or in author and consultant Shauna Hawking's words, one bold move a day. And of course, we talked with her in episode 262. So, friend, going forward, we're going to have lots more topics that are designed to give you great fuel for thought, but also, I hope, will provide inspirational sparks, again, all around thinking about changing your life and how to plan and prepare for those pivots. One of the things that I'll be adding are a few what we'll call coffee break episodes that are specifically designed to help you bulletproof your career and to get you more ready for potential pivots and change. We obviously can't predict the changes that might be coming, but we can absolutely do a better job of getting more prepared. So I'll be creating a few new toolkit episodes or coffee break episodes. You'll have to let me know what you think we should call them. And I'll be rolling those out starting next week. Those will be shorter episodes, more like 15 to 17 minutes in length that you can listen to quickly. Each one will tackle a particular topic related to, again, bulletproofing your career. So stay tuned for that. So friend, with that, I'm going to let you go this week. I really do want your feedback on this topic that we're going to be doing a deeper dive into this season. And as always, I'm grateful to have you here, both today and every week. And I hope you found this conversation to be a good investment in you. You take care, and I'll talk to you again next week. And remember, She Said podcast is a weekly production of She Said Media.